told you. Oh, God.
That Don Shockmaster, okay? He keeps shocking me. Every damn time. Anyway, g'day ladies and gentlemen, I Storm the Australian icon. Holy helly, what the helly? Welcome to the 56th episode of Figure Friday. How the gosh darn hell is everyone doing? Justin, I want to thank you for being here, but if you have eyes and ears, you can see someone on your screen. We're gonna get to him in a little bit, but Justin, how has your week been? And are you feeling Figure Friday? Is that even a feeling now? That's a feeling.
I think it's a vibe. Yeah, it's the vibe I'm feeling. Sort of a mix of the Shockmaster falling through the wall, and also some excitement.
Yeah, hey, that's what we have here on Figure Friday. We got a lot to talk about on this episode, including some WWE reveals. But before that, we have a very, very special guest ahead of just the collect major brand, the major brand himself. We got Kanik. How the hell are you doing, dude? Thank you for coming by the studio.
I love Figure Fridays. It's just a vibe now. I got my scotch here. Let's fucking talk figures.
Justin, where's my scotch?
Oh, it's right behind you.
I fell for it. There's Gullible on the ceiling next, I bet. Oh my goodness. But if you guys missed last week's episode, we dove back. We arrived back here. I was in Florida for a hot minute, so we came back to the house. I came back to my lair, and now we're getting Figure Friday started back up again. But Kanik, please, for the people out there who might not still know who, for some reason, tell them a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, my name is Kanik. I don't have a first name anymore. Haven't had a first name since the third grade. I am one of the owners of Major. So collectmajor.com, where you can find your major Bendys, big rubber guys, and hopefully soon major stars that have been delayed a few times. But yeah, I started the company with Matt and Brian almost 4 years ago, I think now. And yeah, we're just slowly making a dent in the figure community.
Yeah. Well, hey, you mentioned how you started 4 years ago with the Major Boys, and I want to preface this with you got your start originally in the comic book world.
Yeah, I used to do exclusive comics on my own, just to try to find a way to do what I love to do, right? Because I had a regular 9 to 5 job, and it was fun and stuff, but it wasn't what I really enjoyed. Um, but yeah, it was a fun thing to do. I did an exclusive comic book with Boom Studios on Power Rangers, and I did an exclusive comic book with Marvel on Amazing Spider-Man, and I later on also worked at a company called Eagle Moss,
Yeah.
and I got them an exclusive comic book with Amazing Spider-Man. Um, and Eagle Moss is actually where I met Matt and Brian, because I was in charge of the okay, there you go.
Nice.
I was in charge of the WWE collection there. And I did an Amazing Spider-Man variant with them, and now I did an Amazing Spider-Man variant with Matt and Brian, and I snuck myself on the cover. Didn't even ask permission, just did it, and it was
No one
too
will notice.
deep.
Yeah.
I was like, no one will notice. It was too deep
Exactly.
in for Matt to even say anything. I think he was really upset. Then he saw how well the comic sold, and he backed off.
There you go.
And then he also realized that, so earlier someone mentioned in the comments to show the Power Ranger tattoo. That's my green Power Ranger tattoo of the flip head action figure, which was one of my favorite action figures growing up.
I see it. Yeah, I can see the articulation on it even.
And then I have an Amazing Spider-Man tattoo as well.
And old mate Jeffrey, I see him as well.
And Jeffrey the Giraffe.
Yeah.
And,
Is Spider-Man new?
The comic book code. No, these are all pretty old.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you worked at a comic book, kind of in that industry, in that business. And yeah, you were a fan of the Major Pod. You worked at a Fortune 500 agency, realized kind of wasn't for you, decided to take this venture. what was that original leap sort of like? Was there any doubts that you maybe have had, or was it you went,
Oh yeah.
balls to the wall, let's go full force with this? You tell me, go step me through your brain.
Um, you know, look at the Fortune 500 company. I was miserable. I had a very cushy job doing CRM for a Fortune 500. It's actually one of the top pharmaceutical companies. I won't mention their names, but you could narrow it down by looking at the top three. Um, so I had them as a client doing CRM marketing for them. It was really easy, but I hated the environment I was in. I hated the product I was promoting. I hated everything about it. But I got paid very well, and I was like, but I need a change because I'm just not happy. And there's a a Steve Jobs quote that I like. When you wake up, I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it's something like this. Um, if you wake up if you wake up unhappy and you realize that you keep on waking up unhappy, you're stuck in dogma and you need something to be changed. Um, so I was listening to the podcast and I was listening to it. And I was like, fuck, these guys are happy. They're doing what they love to do. If it's not wrestling, which, for I think for the first year they went on TV, right? The year that they went on TV. Um, but they found a new avenue to explore their joy of collecting and wrestling and all that stuff. I was like, this is what I got to do. I got to, just make a pivot. And I went into LinkedIn, typed in toys, applied to the first job. It was Eagle Moss. Got the job pretty much like the next day, and I took a giant pay cut just so I could do something that I had a passion for. I was a little scared, but I was like, all right, you know what? I'll find more side hustles. I'll sell more comics on the side and flip stuff more so I could
I'll
keep on.
make it work.
I'll
Yeah.
make everything work, and
Yeah.
that's what I did. And um, I'm very grateful for it because if it wasn't for that, I would have never probably got to meet Matt and Brian. And you know, Matt would have never followed me on Instagram. We would have never been friends. I would have never then been able to sneak into his DMs and tell him I could do the merchandise for Major Pod, and
Yeah.
we would have never made this giant company that we now own together. Though he texts me every day, probably 100 times throughout the day, and I fucking hate it, but it's okay.
He's like a clingy girlfriend. Hey, you can't
Yeah.
blame him, I guess. It's Kanik, okay, we're talking about.
How much of that's business and how much of that's just pleasure?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, with Matt, it's all business.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, it's all business. Brian and I would say it's 50-50, just business and bullshit. We just, you know, we chill.
Well, we want to jump in and talk about some of the toys you're making, and you've got a pre-order that's live now. It's Big Rubber Guys, which is one of my favorite lines that I'm collecting now. It's the LJN inspired line. It's Shotzi, Coco Beware, Sean Mooney, and Lanny Poffo. We're not going to call him the genius, I guess, for legal reasons. But this is up now. I think they're expected by the end of the year.
Yep.
So I want to get into a little bit about what it's like to make toys at this moment, because we know the macroeconomic climate and trade policy is kind of messing everything up for a lot of folks out there and making it hard. But you all haven't slowed down. You're still doing pre-orders. The price is still the same. So what's it been like to try and navigate this moment?
So before you asked, was I nervous when I started everything? There was a when I quit my 9 to 5 job, I was extremely nervous, right? And it was probably the most nervous I've ever been in my life, because I was turning this into a full-time thing, and how am I gonna create a salary that would be equal to what was already a pay cut salary that I had? Um, that was the most nervous. With everything that's going on, it, I had that same feeling again. And I kept on telling myself, I figured it out the first time. I can figure it out a second time. So I just kind of just try to stay positive. I was creating bricks and I was looking at Excel spreadsheets and trying to figure out math and trying to figure out how to save money and all that stuff. And um, I was lucky that I foresaw a lot of this happening early on. Um, I foresaw it happening in November. Um, so I started to make some changes then. Um, and by February, I did everything that was really needed to protect the business, for the most part. So that's why, everyone we got hit with tariffs. Everyone got hit with tariffs. There's no way around it. But I did as much as possible to not be not be hit as hard as everyone else. Without going into the details of what I did because I don't like revealing my secrets. Um,
I killed a
but
man. I killed a man in Reno. Johnny Cash.
if I did my homework, everyone else should have done their homework.
Yeah.
No crib in here.
No, so I'm the I'm that kid that went like this in class. But no, actually, I used to take kids tests for money. And so
Dude, you were getting into business back then. Look at
I
that. You were
I
made
can
for
give you
this.
I can give you a whole list of things that I did for money in school. That's why my parents were called into the dean's office a few times. Um, but yeah, so I was very nervous. I did things that um I was ahead of the times for it, and because of that, um we're able to operate like if nothing happened. You know, are we taking a hit? Yes, but it's not as big as probably what other people are doing, and now we're using that to our advantage because other people didn't shift in the time that they needed to shift. And because of that, there's a lot of companies that are letting people go, which sucks. But now as we grow, we need to hire, more TTDs and more Brian Beatties. Now I can use those resources that are needing a job to come in, and there's companies who are cutting back on their licensing deals, and now I can come in and take those licensing deals. Um, so it sucks to say we're using it in our advantage. um, it's a terrible thing to say out loud, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
how
if
business
you
is.
can,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's like kind of just how business is, right? I mean, you don't get that far unless you're like, buying other kids' tests, you know what I mean? So you put the seeds in for it, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
back in school.
I was selling I was selling test answers, and literally I would go into the college classroom and take people's tests. I would be like, "Oh, do you want an A or do you want a B? It's $100 difference."
Oh man, where were you when I was in grade? Oh my god, I could have used that. What the heck? Everyone, get yourself a Kanik, okay? Um, if you can. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna use that quote for my Tinder and Bumble account and Hinge. Everyone get yourself a
please,
mechanic.
please, yeah. Someone needs to take my artistic licensing, okay? Someone. But yeah. So you're creating these lines now with Major,
Yep.
and I want to ask, like, it's been mainly wrestling orientated, right? And
Yep.
but until recently, where did the idea to start branching out of wrestling come from, and can we see this incorporated in other lines as well?
Yeah. By the way, you guys are asking excellent questions for a
Oh,
podcast, and you
thank
did
you.
your
What the hell?
homework too. You knew my background already. One of my pet peeves
Yeah.
is, how did you meet Matt and Vine? I've
Yeah.
been saying this for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
I think.
That should be
So
common knowledge.
yeah, they found me at the liquor store. Um,
They
um,
needed test answers, and then that's where you
yeah.
pop up in the liquor store.
Um, so I never thought that this was going to be a business. Originally, we called the company Major Bendys because we thought we were only going to be making one form factor, and we thought it was going to be wrestling, and I thought I was probably going to sell maybe 3,000 figures at most every 4 5 months. And I was thinking, wow, with this extra cash, I might be able to it'll help me put it down payment on a new house or a new condo. I was thinking so minimal.
Right.
And I think 2 or 3 years in, I saw the actual vision. Um, and I said, this is something cool, but we need more lines, we need more product, we need other avenues, we need to be in retail, we need this bigger scope. And that's what I've been doing. And all these other companies are coming out, these independent toy companies. A lot of them I have no problems with. I think a lot of them are great, and they do a great job. And then there's some who do 100% illegal activities, which is very dangerous for the business as a whole. Because
Right.
if you're making a figure that is illegal and the WWE owns the property to, the WWE is going to come look at it and say, "Hey, you need to stop this." And they're going to say, "Hey, but they're doing this." And we all cross a gray line, right? But for the most part, everything that we do is 100% legal. And do we step on that gray line a little bit sometimes? Yeah, but it's really nothing to like really come after us at. But
Yeah. In
if
comparison, especially.
if we got now the X saying, "Hey, but what about them?" And then Y, who is also doing something 100% illegal, saying, "Hey, what about them?" And then they're gonna come after us no matter what. There's gonna be a cease and desist, and they're gonna hold us in court. And they're the ones with the lawyers on retainers. Um, we can't afford to be in that legal process. So my idea is to then switch outside of wrestling, not put all our eggs in one basket, because now I have this business that TTD gets payment from us. We got Brian Beatty who gets payment from us. That's Billy Peck gets payment from us. We got D Freedom who gets payment from us. Now, am I gonna and then Matt, Brian, and myself too? Do we just like close down because we're stuck in a legal battle with this giant corporation because of an idiot who keeps on making illegal figures? Um, that's when I got the idea of, okay, we can't just have this on and all our eggs in one basket. We have to spread our cards, and that's how we're going to survive. And then that's how we're also going to really get into retail too, because for the most part, retail doesn't want wrestling. Wrestling sells pretty bad in retail if you're not Mattel, and even Mattel will have problems. Um, and same for Jazzwares. Um, so that was my idea of spreading. And then also, I love wrestling, but I love Power Rangers. I mean, we don't have the Power Rangers license, but now we can explore other areas that we have a
Hey,
passion
not
for.
yet. You don't have the license
Not
yet.
not yet, not yet.
There you go. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, it just helps us. And then you just put uh, partnership with other companies. Um, we can piggyback off them and can piggyback off us. It becomes a symbiotic marketing plan where we can all grow together. So we first started this with Jazzwares with the Mark Sterling figure, and if this works out, we'll continue doing more figures like this. Um, it's just all part of this plan that I have and executing it. And you know, with San Diego Comic Con coming up, you're going to see more licenses being announced, um,
Right.
more partnerships, and everything I'm going to say is going to make a little bit more sense.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Cool.
uh, but we have a lot of exciting stuff coming, and um, trying to grow this business where I can then hire more people um, who are fans of the community. Like I don't care if you went to Harvard or Princeton or Cornell, like my idiot brother. Um, I care about what's your knowledge of collectibles and
Right.
what can you do and how can you um, pro- provide a service to help us grow.
Yeah.
Are you doing a San Diego Comic-Con panel again this year?
We are not because Matt and Brian love to ignore my text messages, and when I told them to hold this date, they did not.
Ah,
But we will be at New York Comic Con. We're planning something big at New York Comic Con. Uh,
Oh, cool. Okay.
we're gonna do a virtual panel, I think, for San Diego, where we'll announce things and um, there's gonna be multiple press releases coming out within the next few days of stuff teasing what we are coming out with.
I want to drill down on this Mark Sterling figure. It looks great. This is something that's long overdue. What can you tell us about how soon pre-orders will begin, if there even are pre-orders, how everything will sort of work with this?
Yeah. I would say pre-orders might start within the next 2 or 3 months. Um, I'm waiting on some logistic information from Jazzwares, and once I have that information, I can then create a better plan on how are we gonna distribute this. Um, well, I know how we're gonna distribute it. It's on our website, but okay, I have a whole map of okay, if this is pre-ordered, then this can then ship. When this comes, this should ship, and I don't like too many overlapping things because if you pre-order one thing that's going to ship in September and another thing that ships in December, and it's very hard to split the orders, it's a pain in the ass. Um, so we try to ship everything all together at once, and I don't like keeping inventory in the warehouse because one, it takes up space, and two, it costs money to store things. So uh, it's all part of a plan of okay, when is the perfect time that it may not have too much overlap on pre-orders on a later date.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Mark Sterling, man. This looks fantastic. You got the neck for we talked ad nauseum about this about this Mark Sterling. Okay, we're not gonna have you involved now into it. But yeah, like this is a fantastic figure. Can we see sort of you were saying if this goes swell, do you guys have like internal plans to do more? I mean, that might be
Yep.
revealing too much behind the curtain, but yeah, do you guys have plans if this does go like off without a hitch?
Yeah, we've discussed like we have a list of people that we would do next.
Cool.
But we need to really see proof of concept. Okay, this works, then let's do X, Y, and Z next. Um, but yeah, we have I'm confident that this is gonna do really well, and we're gonna be able to do everything that we wanna do, and, this is exciting stuff too because then now it opens more doors for us, and part of the plan, and it shows, you know, um, other licenses and other people in the industry that, yes, we're a small business, but we're legit, and even Jazzwares is acknowledging it. And Jazzwares,
Yeah,
if you ever walk into a convention, Jazzwares is like God, like literally God. They have a
dude.
giant their
Yeah,
their booth must cost at least $1 million just to assemble and space out. I'm not even
yeah.
joking, because it's basically 3 tiers.
Hmm.
And then like you got a
Right.
top tier that overlooks the whole freaking convention.
It's essentially a lounge up there.
And it is amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And it's
Yeah.
and sometimes they get food catered and all that stuff.
No,
I wasn't there for that. I missed that part of it. But
Well,
Justin, we gotta go.
I got to talk to Jeremy Jazzwares.
Um, so I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes my feet were hurting, and I believe I had to go see Jeremy, and I just hung out and had some shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, my feet are hurting. Oh, glug, glug, glug. I understand. Oh man, but yeah, like, dude, they are huge. Just a side tangent, real quick. Went to McDonald's the other day. In the Happy Meals, they have little squishmallows now,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is like holy hell. I mean, I need to see a Bendy in my Happy Meal next time. I think Big
I took
Rubber
a
Guy
pic.
in my Happy Meal.
I took a picture and I sent it to Jeremy. Um, I had the Happy Meal box and it, it's all Squishmallows, but I had his bendy sticking out, and I said they gave me the wrong toy.
That's great. Yeah.
So it sounds like you've got a lot of plans, should, like you said, Mark Sterling go well, which I think we're all anticipating that it will go well. You've got the fan base there, you're plugged in. I imagine, quantity, you're on top of all of those things. When you're looking at those future plans, could they be outside of the major universe? And is this sort of the form factor that you see sort of sticking to, the traditional unrivaled, unmatched style? Or could we see even more things like Big Rubber Guys, AEW? Because we all know Jazzware's tried with the LJNs.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, we could see something. Well, 100%. We can see stuff outside of the major universe. We just did Mark first because Mark is our friend, and I wanted him to shut the fuck up about my snoring. Um, uh,
Hey, it
um,
worked.
it's like I've made this guy how many figures already, and he's still bitching about my snoring when we share a room. Um, and then yeah, if this goes well, maybe they'll let us do Big Rubber Guys. We've asked before and they've closed the door on us, but I'm sure maybe we can ask again and um, we can say, hey, this worked out well. You want to throw us a bone again?
A, a big bone would be a Sting Big Rubber Guy. That
Yeah,
It's just, that's the dream, right?
yeah. I mean, we tried before, and we went directly to Sting, and
Yeah.
he said yes. He was about to sign, and then it got blocked. But it stuff like this has happened to us before, and we just got to be patient. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing about this. And I've tried to explain it to Matt, but Matt is one of the most impatient people in the world. It is a it's a very patient game to play. Licensing. Um, you know, right now you can be told no, and then 4 months later you get a phone call. Hey, this contract ran up that was blocking you from doing this. Do you want to talk again? And then that opens up again, but then you can still talk for another 3 4 months, and you got to wait for the lawyers to finish the contract, so that's another 2 months. It is a long time. We first started with Jay and Silent Bob, and the
Fantastic, by the way. Yeah.
the Kevin Smith universe, and we were lucky that that was really just maybe a less than a week process. um the but then, like, I can tell you, Rambo took me. It was a big chunk of time, and Kickboxer and Blues Brothers that we have. Um, yeah, and the other stuff that's going to be coming out too, which is really exciting. Um, and one of them we could, do cross promotions, um, do a fun mashup of both licenses with wrestling
Cool.
and the other stuff. So
Oh, that's great.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So, kind of piggybacking off of what Justin asked, can we see vice versa, like a Jason Mewes unrivaled figure?
Um,
I doubt that's gonna be possible. Hey, it's worth a shot.
Actually, we could probably. Um,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, yes. Technically,
Yeah.
yes, we could. Um, I don't know if it would be something that we would do, but
Right.
but technically we could probably get that done.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, interesting.
backing off of Nick there though, and you said you're looking outside of the major universe on some of these
Yeah.
things, even in the Unrivaled Unmatched. I mean, we know Cardona showed up in AEW on Collision that one time to face Copeland. But, could you envision doing other figures? Somebody in the chat said Tony Khan fearing for his life, but, a Tony Khan or, whoever, Kenny
Yeah.
Omega, if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all part of everything we can do. It's literally the possibilities are endless. There are certain things AEW, everything has to be approved by AEW. And
Yeah.
as long as it gets approved by AEW, we can do it. But if we want to make a Kenny Omega, we can do Kenny Omega. If we want to make the Bucks, we can make the Bucks. Or if we want to just make 10 different Mark Sterling so you can shut up about my snoring, then I could do that too.
I mean, you got to do the bodysuit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, I love like wrestling's at its peak when it's goofy. So I love that.
I agree too.
Yeah. Kind of just a little bit of a sidebar as well, off topic maybe from the figures. I want to talk about you were a referee for FWF Live 5.
Yes, I
Now,
was.
I want to ask, what were some things that you picked up easier than you thought you might have when you asked being a referee? How did this come about? And also, what did you just not expect at all?
So I didn't ask to be a referee. Matt suggested it
Right.
because the referee figure was coming out. The referee figure was just my way of sneaking myself into the line. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
And now you made it lore. There you go.
yeah. Yeah, with my multiple repaints. But um, I was terrible. I was a terrible referee. Like, I was terrible.
Don't
It
say
was
that about yourself. Come on.
no, it was bad. It was bad. Like I think I counted 4 instead of 3, and when I was supposed to, and I counted probably 4, and I still said 2. Yeah,
Hey, that's the business. Hey, no one gets it, okay? That's the referee handbook.
I think that was gonna be the one and only time I'll be in a wrestling ring. I tried to politic myself into the Cap battle royal and have Shoes or Mark eliminate me like once I get into the ring. And then I just do a bushwhacker walk out. Um, and Brian did not even acknowledge the text in the group chat, and I know he read them. Uh,
Hey, that's your answer, huh? Yeah, you got it right there. So yeah, no Kanik in the Rumble next year. Hey, you never said that. I'll
no,
keep
I
that.
just
Oh,
I was just only banned from Cap. I think.
yeah,
I
there you
think
go.
the WWE still may call.
Dude, fingers crossed. Hey, it's out. If it's possible. I mean, hey, they haven't said no yet.
I'm very good friends with Ethan Page. Maybe I'll give a good word to Sean for me.
Yeah. Ethan gets fired because he asked. Yeah, he gets fired because of that. Oh man. But yeah, Justin, please, you may go.
I mean, here we're talking about fun things, and I'm going to ask you about Diamond Select and if you were affected at all by that.
So, Diamond Select and Diamond Distributions are 2 different things.
Okay.
The two. It's weird. They're owned by they're technically the same company, but they operate as 2 different companies. So were we affected with everything that Diamond is going through? Yes, I get all the legal papers every time someone has a wet fart at Diamond. I get a legal document about it.
Be
It
a
is
soggy legal document.
it is thick too. It's so annoying. I stopped reading them too. And then
Get
like,
on your
overview.
little spectacles and
actually, this is a little fun story. I stopped reading everything that was going on with Diamond because it was like every 2 hours something new was happening. I just completely Um, yeah, I didn't even know that the Diamond completely iced out on monthly comics. I didn't know that. Someone just put that in the chat. Um, I just tuned out what was going on because there's just so much, and I said I'll catch up eventually. I'm friends with someone from Super Seven. I'm friends with someone at Mighty Jacks. I'm friends with Hasbro. We all kind of just like we we have group chats and all that stuff. We all talk. And I went out for drinks with one of my friends at Mighty Jacks, and he's like, he's British, so he says mate a lot, and he goes, "Mate, did you hear what happened to Diamond?" I go, "Yeah, it's crazy. They're going bankrupt." He goes, "Mate, no." And I'm like, "Oh no, they're being bought by this other company." He's like, "No, that got X. Now they got bought by this other company, and this is what's going on." I'm like, "Holy shit, when did this happen?" He goes, "Haven't you been reading the stuff?" I go, "No, I can't read."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're so behind. You got to be on this."
Mate, yeah, mate is a very is a word used often on this channel.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can't read.
I can't read. But
I'm just gonna start doing that.
but we weren't affected too badly. It was more they just didn't place orders with us for some time because they wanted to make sure that nothing bad happened to us. They were actually very nice. I've been in this business for such a long time now with working at Eagle Moss and Zavi that I've built a relationship with a lot of people, and I have friends. I know someone who knows someone at a place, or I know someone directly at a place. So
Yeah,
it's nice. And it, it's a big community when you look at it, especially if you go to Toy Fair or San Diego Comic Con. You can really see how big the industry is, but it's also very small where we're all still really fans of everything. And I know someone who's a fan of my stuff, and I'm a fan of their stuff. So sometimes there's a little bartering that goes on, and
yeah, yeah.
so we're all kind of cool with each other.
I'm
Actually,
rewatching Succession right now, and I imagine that's just what it is. That's just
at
they
a
become
at a
friends
very
with each other.
in a very micro way. Yes.
Yeah. No, no, this is my Succession.
You're
Yeah.
Big
That's
Rubber
what this
Guys
is.
for your Super 7 Ultimates. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I traded Big Rubber Guys. I have a Diamond Select Spider-Man statue that someone gave me at Toy Fair. I gave
Holy, nice,
Big Rubber Guys, and I got a Gambit Mondo 1/6 scale figure.
sick.
Um
Yeah,
uh I got like some Funko Pops for uh my nephews by trading Major Bendies. It's just like
cool.
that's what
Yeah,
you do, especially at
yeah.
Toy Fair and at San Diego Comic Con. Like at the end of a convention, the bartering that goes on after hours while they're ripping the carpet off the floor is insane. It's like Canal Street. Like everyone's like running and with bags and like doing it in the
Yeah,
in
I can envision
secret.
this. Yeah.
It is hilarious. Yeah.
Justin, please.
Well, you announced a few things at Comic Con last year. Major stars you mentioned have been delayed. Any update on that? And also, there was another. It was sort of like a big rubber guy, and I'm forgetting the name of it. It had Macho Man doing the flying elbow.
The major moments.
Yeah, major
Yeah.
moments. So
So,
I remember Matt saying that got shelved. What what's sort of the status of both of those?
major stars. We just got the latest samples, and I told them to move into production. Production should take about 2 or 3 weeks, and then shipping may take about another month. So with that being said, let's say July, August, they'll be in hand. Um, um, yeah, we had to switch factories. We had to do a lot of changes, and these were part of the changes that I told you I foresaw. There was changes that needed to be made internally with the old factory that we were using, and they couldn't meet our standards. Um, you know, they wouldn't get into the details um, done right on the final products. They were doing paint shortcuts that we didn't appreciate. So you're going to see a very big improvement in our quality of our products coming in the next few months, I would say.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I think Demolition, if you saw those images of those, that's with our new factory. And I think those are probably one of the best big rubber guys we have.
It's night and day
There's
with
Yeah,
the first ones. They look
yeah.
incredible.
Well, and that one, it was two different sculptors. So we had Josh, who sculpted the first one, but Brian Beatty, this is his job. And like not to take any credit away from Josh. Josh was great, but Beatty is just he doesn't just work for us. He's doing stuff for Mattel, Hasbro, Disney. Like
Oh
these
wow.
are like he's huge in the industry.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky to have Brian on our team. Um, so he knows, you know, what's the correct thickness of a line should be because that's what's needed for the mold process. And he knows about the mold process better than I do. I have to lean to him sometimes. Um, so it's great on that aspect, but then also the new factory, they're doing things in a different way to get a cleaner paint application, and that is so needed, um, especially with characters like Demolition with their faces. So
Yeah.
that's when you're gonna see the quality changes. But it's still gonna be the same big rubber guys, but it's just gonna be better. And this is a learning pain that a lot of companies have. Like if you look at the first ever Funko and a Funko now, it's night and day.
Right.
Um, and this is just part of our steps to improve. And in 4 years we might improve again. We might go to a different factory that we can find that we can source out cheaper with better quality. And if that's the case, then we'll do that.
Yeah. This is a great question here. UK Elite Wrestling Figs. Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Dream Match, UK Elite Wrestling Figs. I mean, we got the normal assailants in here. I like it. Wondering if music big rubber guys could be a thing. Give me Blink 182 ones right now. So like NECA and Super 7, I feel like have had ventured out and done musician figures. Is that a possibility? Is that something that's you guys internally even talk about? That's on the cards.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh
that's
shit.
the yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Stuff is moving. I'll
So
take that answer.
I can tell you one thing, um, without giving you too much information, because I like working. I'm secretive a little bit, but
Yeah.
we still share. We're very um, public with our information. I would love a Taylor Swift, trust me. Um,
Just
um,
don't make it like that Elizabeth, that life size Elizabeth LJN that guy made.
yeah, no, that was creepy.
Thank you. Someone had to say it.
Um, we're very public with our information. We disclose everything that we do internally, but we keep what we're working on private for the most part because if it doesn't happen, then you know um, like the major moments, we kind of just put it on pause um, because we're doing the restructure. So it is going to come out. It's just when, and then how do I fit it into our schedule? So how I see the company running now is we're gonna focus on the wrestling because wrestling is still, you know, well, it's the company's owned by two wrestlers, right? So we're always gonna do wrestling. Wrestling is our backbone, but I want to focus on movies, music, TV, um, comedy, and comics. um, and other sports outside of wrestling. Um, and you're gonna see a little bit of everything very soon.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Um,
That makes me excited. I feel
yeah,
like you just named like off all my interests in
but
that one.
it's pop culture in general. We're a pop
Yeah,
culture
yeah,
company. We're not just a wrestling company.
yeah.
Um, and it's gonna take some time. It's it's been almost 4 years, and it took us a while to grow the business to where it is now with wrestling. Um, and I don't even think we really tapped the full potential of wrestling, but we're doing really well in it. But now we can also then say, hey, let's look at these movie avenues. There isn't a lot of merchandise for Rambo. There's not enough merchandise for Kickboxer. There's definitely no merchandise for Blues Brothers. Let's look into those things. Um,
Nice. Yeah.
and then just now copy paste that same formula for music. Copy paste the same formula for sports, and just keep going.
Yeah. Michael Jordan, baseball. He's a
Michael,
baseball player too.
yeah, he was a baseball player.
For a
Oh
time.
wow.
Yeah, but
There we go.
I can tell you, Michael Jordan is a very tough license to get. That's why there's very little Michael Jordan merchandise made.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
He wants a very hefty upfront advancement, um, and it's a separate license from everything else. Like you can go to Major League Baseball and get a license, or the NBA and get a license from the NBA, and you can get all the players, but then they carve out players that are excluded from it, and it's usually players that have Nike deals.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I was going to say,
It's
did
kind of
you have to
limited.
go down this road because Cardona
Mm.
calls himself the Michael Jordan of collecting?
No, I knew this before in my time with Eagle Moss and Zavi. Yeah.
There you go. Dude. Well, hey, Space Jam did a number on him, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, he got paid very well for Space Jam, and he gets paid very well for from Nike for his Jordans. Um,
Yeah. Oh man.
Actually, I'll share a tattoo I have here. I got
Oh yeah.
uh,
Wow.
I have
Wow.
a
Yep.
there we go. Jordan 1 tattoo. And for the reason why I got the Jordan 1 tattoo is during that time period where I had just quit my job, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn this into a full-time gig where I could make a actual living off of this. Um, the business was doing well, but it wasn't generating the money that I needed to create a full income for myself. And I was very nervous, and I was trying to figure out all these different avenues of what to do. Um, and I saw the movie Air in the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
I was a nervous wreck that day. I even bought little bottles of Johnny Walker Black into my pocket to drink 'em while watching it. And I sat there, 4 airplane shots of Johnny Black in, and I'm just watching. And I was like, "Holy shit!" This like that movie inspired me. I was like, I just gotta bet on myself and just do the work that is needed, and everything's gonna work out. And then I basically did that, and the business doubled in size, and I was able to actually get a living salary off this.
Yeah. And after doing that and seeing like reaping the benefits of doing that, that just give you so much confidence, I feel like
Yeah,
going
it gives you
into
it builds confidence where you can then
yeah.
go, all right, fuck it, and then you go into the next thing, and you fucking dunk on the next one, and then you go on the next one, and you dunk again, and then
Yeah.
you end up at Toy Fair, sitting on a couch with Jeremy Padawa and all the head ups at Jazzwares, and you scored the old Jazzwares,
Yeah,
and
man.
you, s- it's fun. It's a fun time to for me to do all this stuff. Is it stressful? My beard's turning white. There's some days I don't sleep. Um, I uh I go out on dates, and all I'm thinking is wow, this girl's very beautiful, but did I mention to China that this had to be done? And
Right.
but and
In the
then
back of your mind.
she wants to know who Matt is because there's a bunch of messages coming in from Matt, and she can see it on my phone.
Is
She
this
wants
someone
to
I should know
know,
about? Yeah.
yeah, is this someone I should know about? And then I have to explain who Matt is. And then she then Googles me and asks if I'm famous, and I have to explain no. I'm just an
I mean,
idiot.
you're on Figure Friday, so I mean,
I mean, it doesn't get. It's
I
all
have to
downhill.
explain. I have to explain that I'm writing two wrestlers' coattails.
I want to talk about this. Oh man, dream
Yeah.
match. You spoiled it. No, but I want to talk about. So you've met so many wrestlers over the years too.
Mhm.
Like you're a wrestling fan at heart. Was there any interaction, any sort of thing that any wrestler interaction that stuck with you over those few years of being a fan?
Ric Flair yelled at me on a phone call. He like
Woo!
recently.
Like that.
No, when we were signing Ric Flair to a deal, he flipped out. He flipped out to me. He flipped out to Dawkins. Really flipped out to Dawkins, and then Dawkins got mad at me. Um, and
Dawkins, the
then
attorney.
yeah, Dawkins, our attorney who handles all our trademarks and stuff. Um, but yeah, that scared the shit out of me because I was like, "Holy fuck, Ric Flair is pissed at me." And then I saw Ric Flair probably 2 months later
Yeah.
and tried to apologize, and he had no idea who the fuck I was. I'm like, "I'm the guy who sent you $20,000,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you got mad about it."
Hey, look, Kanik, look, I wouldn't yell at you if you did that. I'm just saying. Look, just keep that in the back. No, keep that in your mind. But
Um,
yeah, keep going, please.
no, that one sticks out just because now I can look at it and just laugh. But at the time, I was like very nervous about it because I had like there was so many people. Everyone's pointing fingers at it. What happened was
Yeah.
I had to wire him money, and the wire didn't go through, and then it became a holiday, and then it became the weekend, and then like
Mm.
he had to wait X amount of days to get this wire, and he was flipping out as if I can control time and date and the banks. Um,
Wait, you
and I can
can't?
just
What the?
and I can switch the access and get the money into his account as fast as
Yeah.
possible. It just doesn't work that way. Um,
Yeah.
and there was a little argument about that. But other than that, Sabu, rest in peace. He was
Right.
such a good guy that there was countless times that me and him, I like to drink, he liked to drink. We would fucking hang out at the bar, and
Yeah.
we would just talk from till the bar closed down and they kicked us out. And then I would get a suitcase of beers, and we would walk around the hotel just drinking together. Um,
Man.
there was one time I gave him a royalty check, and he gave me a bear hug, and he says, "You have no idea how much this means to me." Um, cool shit like that, Sergeant Slaughter. I he was at our booth at New York Comic Con. He was signing autographs. I took him out to one of the oldest steakhouses in New York City. It's a very nice steakhouse, and he sat down and he goes, "I've never been here. Have you been here?" I go, "Yeah, I've been here multiple times." He goes, "I looked this up. It's supposed to be very good." I go, "Yeah, it's good." He took one bite of his, like, we ordered a bunch of appetizers and a bunch of steaks and lobsters, and he took one bite and he goes, "God damn it, kid. You know your food, and it shows."
That's
I'm,
great.
I'm there with my brother, and my brother goes, "A GI Joe just called you fat."
Dude,
But then
that's
I
like,
just
yeah, life making.
and then and then he showed me like like drinking tips because he's a uh, another drinker. Um, so he showed me some cool drinking tips on what to do, like what to drink before and what to drink after. And he told me who taught him those things, and like we just continued. Um, I mean, it's nothing top secret, but his go-to drink after a meal is a Dewar's on the rocks with lots of rocks.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And he drinks it, and I love Johnny Walker, but you know, I'll drink Dewar's. So I'm just
Yeah.
drinking with him. He got so drunk because this guy was drinking beer, wine. He was just mixing alcohol all night.
Oh man, that's dangerous.
And we drank a good amount of Dewar's. The restaurant
Mhm.
actually closed, and they kept it open for us because Sarge was at our table. And
Oh
literally the wait staff was just surrounding us, listening to Sarge hold court, tell stories.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's great.
um they brought the bottle of Dewar's, and they just left it on the table for us. And so we're just drinking the Dewar's and everything, and all of a sudden Sarge starts singing, but when I'm saying singing, he's really yelling out the G.I. Joe theme song. And it was fucking, and I have a recording of it too. Um, and then my brother the next tells him he's all hungover the next day, and he goes, "You boys, you guys know how to have fun. I love you guys." And Sarge did not say a word to me the whole week before this happened. And I'm
Right.
like, all of a sudden, I just had to get this guy drunk, and all of a sudden he loves me. I would have done it day one. I was drinking day one. I was just hiding it from him.
That's all it
Uh,
takes, man. Yeah.
Um, so my brother gets him to do the monologue from the G.I. Joe movie. He goes, "This is for you, and this is for me." And he does it, and it was just like, this is incredible.
Just
Just
don't
yeah,
bring up
Dude.
Nemesis Enforcer.
no, no.
Well, dude, those are like crazy memories to even have. But you did mention comedy a little bit ago, and I am a
Hmm.
huge comedy nut.
Hmm.
And I was scrolling for research, and I came across this post. You hanging out doing four walls with Glenn Harrington. So
Yeah.
tell me about this photo. Tell me about this night. How did this come about?
Um. Fuck, I was really drunk that night. I drank that whole bottle by myself, by the way.
Nice. That's why. Hey, he
Um.
was probably being like, okay, test out my new alcohol, and then
Yeah.
you
So what
tested it
happened?
out.
Basically, what happened was, um, shit. I'm trying to get the. I'm gonna. I don't know if this is accurate, and I was really fucked up that night. Um,
That's fair, man. Yeah, you're having a good
uh,
time.
I he was doing an autograph signing in Jersey City at a liquor store, and I had just finished doing a show somewhere, and I went home. My buddy called me, says, "Hey, come to the bar. Um, they have four walls. They gave this as he's a bartender. It's a promotion. It's free. So they just want us to give it out to people for free.
Okay.
Just come here and just drink it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fuck! Don't tempt me with the free alcohol." I had a good time. So I sat there, and I went to the bar, and he just puts the bottle there and goes, "Yeah, just pour it yourself." And then Glenn walks in, sits down, and he's having dinner behind me, and I'm just drinking it, and he keeps on pouring. My buddy's pouring it in, and I'm pouring it in, and um, so there was probably like this much left in the bottle, and he comes over and he goes, "Are you enjoying that?" I go,
Yeah.
"You make a very great product." Uh, he goes, "I think I've seen you drink the whole thing." and you're not that big of a guy to be doing this. Are you okay?" And then my buddy, this is one of my old roommates from college. He goes, "Ah, this is a Tuesday for Kanik."
Hell, yeah, dude, you're the demographic for this, man. That's fantastic.
So I was like, "Hey, if I finish the bottle, will you take a picture with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I just like poured the rest. Well, he said you don't have to finish the bottle. I go, no, 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 I want to. um,
Yeah.
I finished the bottle and we took the photo. So that's why the bottle's completely empty. And he signed it for me. I have it on my shelf. Uh,
Oh man, yeah, that's cool.
I
Are
actually
you?
don't even know that other person in the photo. It was just a random person who kept on sneaking into the photos, and I kept on trying to get one of just me and him, and this guy just kept on sneaking in, and then he was like, "Can you
Wait, is
airdrop
that
that to me?"
real?
Yeah, I don't
Is
know
that?
that guy at all.
Oh shit!
Oh, I thought that
I
was like
was
a
like,
brother or something.
No,
yeah,
no,
like a
I don't.
friend. Yeah, no.
I have no idea who that guy is.
That's
Dude,
so weird, man.
that
Get
guy
out of
was
here.
that guy was piggybacking off my fucking liver.
Off your fame, yeah, off your liver and yeah, off everything. Your liver, more
Yeah,
importantly, yeah. Dude, holy hell. Oh my. Anyway, what a night. And you was
yeah,
also got the little guy in there too. You had to. So
yeah.
it's
So it was Austin 316 day.
yeah,
And that's why I was wearing the Austin 316 shirt.
yeah,
And it was
gotcha.
like St. Patty's Day weekend, and then that's the day that we also put the gold swaggle up for sale. So I was taking it to
There
all the
you
bars that I was going to. Yeah,
go. Dude, that's pretty good marketing, actually. That's pretty great.
yeah.
Hell yeah, Justin. If you have a cue, talk his
I,
ear off.
I think maybe we should just bring it back around to Big Rubber Guys. You've got the pre-order up
Yeah.
now. Talk to us a little bit about this wave, and it's a great one with the Genius, Lanny Poffo, Shotzi Blackheart, Sean
Yeah.
Mooney, and Coco Beware. You know, how'd you pull this one together, and how you feeling about it?
Yeah. So Coco, you can see it in one of the vlogs where I'm speaking to Coco and I'm talking to him about doing figures and all that stuff. And at that's the day that we signed Coco. What happened was um, Deborah Hogan, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's wife. We did figures together. She was very impressed with with everything that we did for them, and she saw me at a convention, gave me a big hug and kiss, and literally took my arm like if I was a child, which I am, and brought me around to every booth, every table, and said, "Don't sign a deal with anyone but this guy because he's a very honest man and he gets stuff done." And so we signed Coco, we signed Haku that day. I feel like there was someone else. Um, but that's how we got that. And then there was Lanny Poffo, who we got through Macho Man's estate. Um, Matt somehow met Sean Mooney somewhere, I think, and that's how that got done. And then Shotzi is his new like neighbor, next door neighbor.
Oh
And so
wow,
when
yeah,
like she got released, next day we
yeah,
signed her. And I was like,
fantastic.
let's push her in the line. Let's try to do this as fast as possible. Um, because I think she's very theoretic, and
Yeah,
um, I've been wanting to do more current people in the line.
yeah,
Um, and this was a good way to add a current person in the line, and I can already tell from the numbers, she's performing really well. Um, so I think we're gonna try to do more current people in the product line. We're gonna still do those legends, but just throw in one or two, somewhere throughout the year,
yeah,
like what we did
yeah.
with Ethan Page and Matt Hardy and Jeff, and
Right.
even though they might be fucking legends too. So
And
Dude,
any
yeah.
update on the previous pre-orders too that are out there? I know you're pretty close, I think, on Rock and Roll Express and Bad News Allen.
Yeah, so um, the delays that we were having was because of the factories that we were switching and everything that was going on in China to like the factories didn't even want to produce anything because people were canceling POs and they thought they would cancel their PO on them. So they thought, and I kept on trying to reassure them that we weren't going to cancel. Let's just make it. Let's make it. But because of the prices increasing, they thought that we were going to cancel. Um, so they were kind of dragging their feet on production themselves. Um, Now everything is fully committed. I paid for everything. Everything is done. Like so, Rock and Roll Express and Bad News, I believe, have shipped. Or are shipping like within the next 2 or 3 days. Um, and the same thing with the Bendys that are being delayed, like the Crisp Bay, and we have the Alley Catch. I was about to say some Bendys that I don't think we even announced. Um,
Oh, you could do that. No, no,
but they are delayed because they're not in
yeah,
hand as from when we
yeah.
wanted them. So we're facing a lot of delays, and the other problem is we're doing a lot, and I think it's hard for the factory to keep up. So we gotta, and I'm trying to be better at this, give more leeway time for the factories, which means you're not gonna get the pod. I'm gonna advertise it at a much later date. So I might say it's gonna ship in December, but you may get it in October.
Yeah,
But if it doesn't happen in October, then you're gonna get it in December. Like
right.
that way we're not lying to the customers, and we don't purposely try to lie. It's really just guesstimations. And we're pretty accurate on the time frame. Then been, some instances where we're a month late or 2 months late, but then there's other instances where we're also a month or two early. Um, but we haven't, aside from major stars, which we took no one's money for, from so it's okay. We've been pretty much on schedule. We've been in that leeway time of when is it technically bad. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, like we've never taken someone's money for more than a year and not deliver.
right. There you go. And yeah, like Dream Match said in the chat, the Bay and Alley were super sweet additions to help some injured talent, like stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like that it just it doesn't like cure what the situation, but holy hell does it help, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Like um, we are providing a new form of income for these wrestlers because yes, they get a royalty check from us, but the royalty check is nothing compared to what they're gonna make at the conventions when they're signing these things. And you have no idea how many wrestlers are come up to me and are so grateful for the royalty check, like because we're
Sabu, you
probably,
mentioned, yeah,
yeah, there's probably, we're probably the highest paying um royalty company uh,
right,
for wrestlers, and that is because we're owned by wrestlers, right? I'm not a wrestler myself. I'm a one-time failed referee, but Matt and Brian are professional wrestlers who've been wrestling in the business for almost 20 years, or maybe even over. Um, but they are they don't they have a reputation in the industry themselves where they don't want to hurt other wrestlers. So they want to make sure that every wrestler is protected, and that is done by protecting them and making sure that they're paid the right amount. So when these guys get royalty checks, they're very happy. But then when they're done doing a signing, they come to me and always give me a bear hug, or Matt a bear hug, or Brian, or like they all talk to us all and just say, you have no idea how many bendies or big rubber guys I signed this weekend. Thank you so much. Like
yeah,
they're very grateful. Chavo Guerrero, who I've known way longer than Matt and Brian. Um, he's been a family friend for a very long time. He's one of my brother's next door's neighbors. Um, that's why there was a bendy made of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he
Oh
uh
wait,
he
all these neighbors. Yeah.
yeah, he came to me. He comes to me after every convention. He goes, "Man, you have no idea how proud I am of you. Like, I remember when you were just like trying to make shit happen, and now you are making the shit happen. You are the shit." And
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
he tells me how many bendies he signed and like how happy he is, and he goes, "It's the most signed thing I've done,"
Right.
and that's a cool feeling.
That's what you want, man. Like especially like because a lot of the times some of these talents, maybe even vets, don't have a single carded figure to sign. You know.
Right. Like
So like
Chavo
that.
hasn't
Yeah.
yeah, Chavo hasn't had a figure in years.
Yeah.
And his Mattel figure goes for like $300 on eBay. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. So yeah, that just helps in that aspect too. I got one closing question,
Hmm.
and then we could move on to the news portion, Justin, if you're down.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
but this segment is a new segment I like to call Dream Match Fig. Okay, based off of our producer who's show running this and helping the slides and putting them together. This is called Dream Match Fig. So Kanik, what's your dream figure? Can be any line, any talent, any articulation. Hypothetically, your dream figure, either to make or even collect.
I'm gonna be very biased right now.
Yeah, please.
Um, I want Power Rangers in the Big Rubber Guys scale and Bendy scale because
Ooh.
I played with the Power Ranger Bendums when I was a kid a lot,
Yeah.
and now I'm the one doing it. And Power Rangers has always been one of my favorites. I have a Green Power Ranger tattoo on my arm.
Right.
Um, I I've I was friendly with Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
I actually text him the day he passed. Hours before everything happened, I texted him and I said, "Hey, do you want a major bendy? This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let's get involved. Or maybe we do it with like an MMA style figure, or even what's that movie that he filmed that's coming out? It's like the Power Ranger knockoff, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I
asked,
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, I asked if he wanted to be part of that, like do something like that. Um, so I texted him, and he didn't respond, and he's always very responsive, very quick. I was like, "Ah, fuck, he just doesn't want to work with me. Shit, I stepped over a boundary or something." I
Right.
was like, bad. And then like the next day, literally within a few hours, I won't forget this also because I was at AEW, texting him this. Um, the next day, in the morning, I woke up to my phone blown up because everyone knew like I love this guy, and like now I've got to know him and everything, and he's really cool. Um, he passed away, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's a better excuse for not responding to my text messages. But
Yeah. Right.
um,
Oh
so
man.
yeah, but yeah, Power Rangers was one, and then also because of all the conventions I do, I've you know you get to hang around with St. Austin John and Steve, um and like you hang out with the freaking Red Power Rangers. It's fucking cool, right? And then they're like,
Yeah.
"Why does Hacksaw love you so much?" And I go, "Oh, I'm just one of his hoes." Uh,
One of his many. Ho. Oh man,
but yeah,
that's crazy.
it,
That's a
so
wild memory to have. Like,
yeah, so Power Rangers is my dream, for Big Rubber Guys and Bendies.
hey,
But I'll
well,
do it all. I'll every form factor I ever make, I'm gonna just Power Rangers. Give me Power Rangers.
It's
yeah,
going to be
dude.
a
I mean,
hell of
I'd
a
love to see that. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
it's going to be a hell of a licensing meeting when you go in there and you whip out that tattoo.
Yeah, I
Like,
might have had that.
this is, I
I might
already
have
signed
had
the
that
deal.
meeting already. I might have had that meeting already, and they might have asked me, "Is that a green power you did that too?"
And you're like, no.
Yeah, they're whispering. We've
I'm just
got
a
the
businessman.
leverage.
Yeah, there you go. Mr.
Yeah, like,
Bean,
look,
big rubber guy.
I would do a Mr. Bean Big Rubber Guy in a heartbeat. I love Mr. Bean.
Yes, please. Oh man, I just rewatched Mr. Bean's Holiday not long ago. It's a great one. Aussie Legend TV, how you going? So yeah, man. Thank you. I for one want to say thank you for doing this. Thank you for taking the
No,
time
no
out
problem.
and giving
Anytime.
us the chance, man. Because I had such a blast. Like, you know, going more deep into the research of you and even hearing you today. Like, man, I'm so sold and more than sold on the health of this line. You know, knowing that it's in your hands.
You realize I drank a whole cup of scotch.
Get another one. No. Yeah.
You really
Dude,
can't trust me?
I feel like I need to be. It's 10 a.m., but I feel like I need to be having a scotch
I've been,
on the rocks.
I've been. People don't understand my schedule. Like, I don't look like an athlete, but I work like an athlete. Like, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I just don't go
Oh,
to the gym.
wow.
I sit on the couch and I talk to China and I'm
Yeah.
eating garbage and all this shit. But then I went. I had to pack some orders myself. I had to go to the warehouse and check on things. I had to. I'm talking to two factories because we're still using two different factories. We're using the old factory, the new factory, and managing those things. I had to talk to the bank. I had to talk to licenses. I had to talk to the agencies. I got to make sure that Matt and Brian are okay. I did a Whatnot stream. Follow me on Whatnot, Kanik
Yeah.
89.
Yeah, man. Get
And
'em
then
out. Yeah,
I'm doing this podcast, but it's like I haven't stopped. So, right before
yeah.
we started, I poured a cup of scotch, and I'm not even gonna say it was a drink. It was a cup. And, um, and then I'm like halfway in. I'm like, I didn't eat anything really. I've been just snacking on stuff all day.
That's me. As soon as if I'm out drinking, I'm like, oh wow, I actually haven't had a full meal. What the? Yeah, what a question.
Fuck, kill, marry Cardona, Myers, Sterling. I will marry Brian. Fuck Mark. Kill Matt.
You heard it here first, Matt. Okay.
That was
Come on.
that.
Now Matt's got to come on the pod to freaking. He's got
Oh,
to
I'm sure.
do the same question.
Someone. I'm gonna keep on doing jokes now.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
so there's that picture of Matt and Brian facing each other at TNA this week, right? And everyone's like, "Oh my God, whose side do I choose?" I go, "Well, this is easy." I once slept in Brian's car, and he gently woke me up and gave me Wendy's chicken nuggets. And
Just feeding like a bird.
just he's like, "Hey, I got you chicken nuggets from Wendy's. Do you want them?" And I woke up and was like, yeah, thank you. And I ate the chicken nuggets. And then I went back to bed in his back seat. And the same thing happened with Matt in his car, and he used me as a punching bag. So yeah, I'm 100% choosing Brian over Matt.
They just put you up by a chain, just starts.
But he filmed it too, and then showed it to me. He's like, ha 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 ha. I'm like, this is assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they balance each other out well, hey. Well, dude, Kanik, thank you again for doing this, man. I'd love to shout you a glass of scotch on me someday.
Yeah.
This is fantastic stuff. Thank you again for joining. Justin, I know there's some WWE figure news. Hey, Kanik, if you want to stick around, feel free. But if you want to dip again, feel free, because I know how packed your schedule is just from running it.
I'm gonna head out just because I really do need to eat something.
Yeah.
Please, man. I'm advising you to eat something now. Yeah, get out of here. Okay.
But it was a great time. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for
No
doing
worries,
it.
Kanik. Thank you, man. First of many, let's hope. Awesome. Well, dude, Kanik89. Holy, what a guy, man. That was a fun little chat.
Yeah. It's great to do. So excited about everything they're doing.
He's out, but we're not out, okay?
No,
we're not
let's
freaking out.
should we go lightning round and get into the reveals of the day?
Yeah, let's do some lightning round until we get to the reveal. So 4th of July sales going on at ringside right now. Make sure you get in your orders there. Some nice cheap figures.
What code can you use on that?
I don't know. I think it's a code.
Use code icon.
Better timing than Jazz. I'm gonna stick by that. Here's the ringside top 10. Our truth is the number one seller of Elite 115. Which, hey, I mean, I can believe it. I almost was like, I don't even have that R Truth. I need to order it. How's it hanging? What's up, Esteban? How you doing, man? I hope the almost household is doing swell. CM Punk Ultimate is number 2, man. That's stayed in the top 10 for a while now. Rhea Ripley Elite 117, LA Knight Defining Moments, Jacob Fatu Elite 118, hitting stores in Australia, by the way, and in America. RVD ECW Defining Moments, that's a great figure. Jeff Hardy Blacklight. Timeless Tony Storm, ringside exclusive. The Naomi Elite 117, good looking figure. And Cody Rhodes Elite Top Picks 2025 Wave 4. Moving on, we do have the From the Vault ringside exclusives. Now, are these up for pre-order or are these shipping?
They're shipping now.
Oh, baby. These are shipping. Make sure you check your doorsteps, okay? Because these are shipping. I need to get that John Cone and that Chase John Cone for sure.
Yeah, that's the ticket there.
That's the ticket. ECW CM Punk Ultimate Edition, up on Mattel Creations right now to pre-order. Justin, did you get one?
I did. I ordered one, and somebody asked me, "Are you gonna order 2?" And I think I'm done playing that game. Like that, I'm good with 1, and we're done here. But one thing I noticed, or somebody pointed out to me, I thought these were pretty much reused faces. And it looks like they've tweaked them from that ringside exclusive Punk. So that's kind of cool to see. And the other thing is, I think that he may not have the sculpted tape on the hands.
Right.
So.
Not even on the hands?
Yeah. I definitely not on the wrist. I wonder if it's gone on the hands. It looked like it from the reels that Steve Ozer was sharing, but maybe he'll be in the chat and correct us.
Yeah, I remember, I think it's the SummerSlam Ultimate that's going to have the wrist tape sculpted, so I'm looking out on that.
Yeah.
Honestly. I'm going to swap all my shoulders out for my Punks. But yeah, like these head scans, I think the only one that's like a complete reuse of the expression is the Screaming scan. Mm-hmm. Because the Ultimate, the Money in the Bank one had a slight smirk, like, the neutral face, and then the Screaming scan. So,
somebody pointed out, though, the Screaming scan's a little, like, he doesn't have like that, the mask, like Cody Rhodes mask, like like
got you. Yeah. Okay.
That it looks shortened up, so it looks a lot better than that first Punk Screaming scan.
A lot less uncanny valley, and you love to see it.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got some special, dude. Oh, Mr. Iguana, dude, Layeska. Okay, for one, let me touch on this for a sec. We need a Mr. Iguana figure. I don't know if you saw Worlds Collide at all, Justin.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, baby. We need a Mr. Iguana figure, and we need it yesterday. Okay, moving on.
And Layeska, though, it looks like his Layeska was available for a time on Amazon. Looks like it mostly sold out. You can find it under like the See Others or other ways to buy, whatever the tab is, they call it. But like the same puppet that he uses, it looks like it's on Amazon or was on Amazon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
And then people found out and they were like, oh my God, I am Mr. Iguana now.
Exactly. It went from like $21, something like that, up to like 34 by the time I saw it. And then it ended up selling through it. So, and who knows if this is like, once WWE like gets him, like if they're just going to like rework the iguana. Like, I can't believe we're talking about this.
I think they're gonna. Yeah, what a fascinating.
Yeah, they're totally gonna like merch it up.
Oh no! Rework the iguana rose. Hello, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Off the air. But okay, cool. But dude, we're seeing this 3-pack. So we knew this was coming. We saw the loose images or the loose photo just like on the display at Mania this year, I'd say, of these figures. Look at the package. I love the packaging on this and how it turned out, honestly. You know, just blue and red. That's kind of just the Cena colors to me. Moving on, dude. Yeah, let's look at we finally get a good look at the torso they're using too. These images, yeah. You can
Take your clothes off, John.
Word. Take it all off. Yeah, take it off, man. Yeah, fantastic, dude. So it is like, it's pretty similar to his old Elite torso sculpt, but it is just tweaked slightly here and there, and I actually quite like the tweaks that they made. I feel like the chest is more accentuated. Not that I look at chests all day. Okay?
It's okay. It's okay. We all do.
Yeah, we all do. Damn right we do. But yeah, these are some great looking figures, and I'm excited to see how these look in hand once people get them in and start reviewing them too. What else do we get? Is this shipping?
No, it's just
Okay.
we saw the photos of it.
We did see the photos. I saw that Dom. I saw the Braun. Let's get into this set, man. Like I am.
Yeah, I'm here for this set.
Collector's edition. Yeah, dude. So I don't think this Cena is using the newly sculpted torso, which is something I will take note of. But I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. That's just a thing.
Yeah.
That's just a thing. This is, what gear is this? Is this chamber?
I'm not positive which one it is. I don't think it's chamber. It can't be.
It's not chamber.
No.
Because
It's
chamber
gotta
had like
be
a white armband.
yeah. And he had
Netflix.
white shoes and different colored wristbands, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, Netflix debut. John
Okay.
Cena with socks is weird.
Did he thank some sponsors too?
Yeah. You'd hope so. John Cena with socks does look weird. Dude, he's just like dressing like someone's out of touch like dad who's also a PE coach at school. You know what I mean?
He totally is.
Phys ed coach, but he's also someone's dad who like keeps embarrassing his kid. That's what it feels like.
Hello, fellow kids. Hello, you fellow kids, Cena.
Yeah. I'm putting my money on. Oh, I'm putting my flag on. I wish he just wore suits during this heel run, but they wouldn't make so much freaking money off his merch that way. So that, yeah, whatever. I'll take it. Thanks, Triple H, for nothing. Moving on.
This is the star here.
This is definitely my hitter of the set, my big hitter, because I love the like La Parka kind of reference to his gear. There's so many references Dom makes throughout his gear, and I think it's really, really cool. It's like just a complete homage to Lucha Libre when you get into it. But it's a fantastic looking Dom, man. I can't tell if I want to get this or the Ultimate, and normally I would get the Ultimate in this kind of situation, but the colors, man. Like, I love the purple on this.
He looks like such a scumbag, and I love it.
Dude, yeah, like dude, get out of here with that.
I don't know if we've got the flex photo. We may not, which is fine. But that one is the one that just did it for me, where I was like, he looks like such a dirtbag, and it is too perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't, this is going to be such an upgrade from his last Elite and Ultimate, honestly.
Yeah.
Fantastic looking stuff here. Look, we got some images here of it. Yeah, like the vest as well just goes so hard. I think this might be I might have to pick this up over the Ultimate if I had a choice.
The tasseled boots too.
Yeah, man, that's newly sculpted, right?
I think it is.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be. A lot of new sculpts for that Dom. We're seeing Liv Morgan. A lot of old sculpts for this Liv.
This just is a miss, right? Like, there's something about that face that they just haven't captured.
Yeah, I think you head swap it with like her Elite 85 or something like that, and I think that's the good Liv. I think that's where your bread is buttered right there. But yeah, not a bad gear at all. I mean, it absolutely goes well with that Dom Mysterio. But yeah, I'd do a head swap if you were to get this one, honestly, just for likeness purposes.
Totally agree. Side plates on the title too.
Side blades on the title. Yeah, that's another big thing too. She was champion for a hot minute there, so you can't blame that. Braun Breaker with that freaking hot dog tan. Hell yeah. first off, what do you think on this Braun, and then what do you think of the tan?
So they keep changing his skin tone. They've changed his skin tone. I think every
Wait,
figure he's
yeah.
had has been different. So I kind of like the hot dog tan. I don't hate it, but I still like that old homage. The pink is like, that's the one. I still think that's my favorite of all.
Yeah, I think this, especially if you get like this newer Braun, put the head sculpt on. He has like he looks like a giraffe a little bit until you fix it. So yeah, but yeah, like that's something that I did not realize until you mentioned it. Every Braun Elite is gonna have a different skin tone. Like this is more so the Cody skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
This is more so the Triple H skin tone, and then this is gonna be like a new one in of itself. I saw one of the comments saying they made Braun Breaker Chinese, which I thought that was completely racist. That was like so bad. I feel bad laughing about it now.
Yeah,
like, who commented that?
It's the shock of it, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's the shock humor of it, if it's humor at all. Anyway, racism. I love the gear. I love the gear on this, and I think I'm gonna be picking this up, honestly. Hope we get a Braun Ultimate. Yeah, I don't know if that's in the pipeline, man. I think I can skip out on this for now, because if you're not happy with this head sculpt, for one, you can't switch it out with his prior elites, which I think is a little bit of a miss right there. Because I love this scan a lot. I like that scan. The scan even on his first elite wasn't too bad too, but sometimes you just don't need the crazy eyes and the big mouth open. You know,
they are going big with the mouth open, right?
Yeah. Like it's not like Braun Breaker doesn't go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish we could see swappable head sculpts more as accessories again, you know. But I think maybe they're waiting on ultimates for that sort of thing. Have you noticed that? Like different head sculpts, man. I've noticed it's just the one and done now for some of these elites.
It feels like they've pulled back on that for sure. And I mean, it's been frustrating, the reuse that we've seen on the ultimates. As far as like you get a Finn Balor and it's like, here's like one head from like 5 years ago, and then one from the last 3 years, and then there's maybe like one new head mixed in. So, but I'll give him credit for creating a new bronze sculpt for this and giving him the title with side plates. But you know, if you've already got one of the previous releases, I don't know that this is a must.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point there. Oh man, Dexter bloody Loomis. Sorry, Dream Match. I was skipping. But dude, holy hell. I think out of the Wyatt 6 for me, this one looks the coolest in a figure form, honestly. Either that or I just really like the costume of this.
No, I'm with you.
Like, yeah, it just looks so cool, especially if you look at like the mask and everything on top of it. I just noticed now, like, his vest sort of has an homage to the floral shirts that Bray used to wear too.
Yeah, like
that's such a cool little detail I didn't even notice. And his tattoos are looking nice and vibrant too, or at least that one blue one is. And a lot of new sculpting on this figure. Honestly, a lot of new sculpting.
I wanted to see more photos with the mask on, and this is a pretty clear one, you know, straightforward, but it's just like, it looks so cool. And they had so many photos of him without the mask that I was like, no, like more with the mask. Like,
yeah. Hide that pretty face, Dexter. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, UK Elite Wrestling Fix, mentioned something cool. How Dexter didn't get an Elite in NXT is insane. He had that one basic, I remember. And then people were making custom elites off of that, but he never got like an elite from that era. So finally making his debut into the elite line, Dexter Loomis, man, a little bit overdue, I'd say.
Yeah, way overdue.
Yeah, and this is a good one to have. And another one that's maybe a good one to have. We'll have to wait and see how this compares to his AEW release. But the Elite Ethan Page, man, look at him go. He can't even get him pointing to his own freaking cheek on the display. He had to fix it himself.
They did it again in the photos too.
Yeah, he's pointed to the
He's
side,
doing the Bobby the Brain point.
Yeah. Okay, good. We don't have it because I don't want that's like sacrilege. I can't see it. Okay, but yeah, like was one of these gears like a fantasy
I
something
want to
gear or something like that we
I want to say the
mentioned?
red was.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't know if he had actual red attire made and to, you know, actually make it legit.
yeah, yeah. Looks better than the AW face wise. I think that screaming scan on the Ethan Page is really good, but I think this head sculpt beats like the neutral scan, at least for how it was printed on my figure. It was a little like misprint a little bit here and there, but I think the screaming sculpt on that Ethan Page was fantastic. And so I wonder if you can mod it and make it sit on this figure as well. And I believe this one's the chase, the gold.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
cool.
I
Yeah,
don't know how I feel about it. It doesn't quite hit for me. Like the face, just there's something about it that's not quite there, and
yeah.
I can't place it.
I agree, man. I think he has brown eyes, right? And it kind of like looks here like he has blue eyes a little bit.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. I feel like sometimes the way the pupils are printed on a head scan can completely change how it looks, or how like the face like just kind of looks overall. I don't know. Me as a painter, I know I'm like fixing up a lot of my elites. I'm trying to make Jacob Fatu have like better looking eyes. I'm trying to paint them a little bit more accurate. So I feel like the eyes have a lot to do with it. The AW was a little cartoonish. Yeah, they kind of prance more on the cartoony side sometimes. So I don't like hate that. You know what I mean? I don't hate you saying that. But yeah, I think there is something off maybe with the face sculpt, but I don't know, dude. Could you point it to anything, or is it just maybe the first time around?
I think it might just be one of those first time around things. There's just something about how I see Ethan Page. The same with Liv. There's just that one thing off that I cannot place, and
Right.
it's not like it totally ruins it for me or anything, but
Yeah. What do you think of the formula overall?
overall, I think it's a pretty good formula. He looks pretty jacked, but I think he got into really good shape before he got to WWE.
Yeah. He's looking jacked. Oh, moving on as well. Wait, is this Monday Night War?
This is Series 8.
Yeah, dude. So, fantastic looking Builder figure set. It's pretty. It has its moments.
Yeah.
Let me retract my statement. Yeah, it has its moments. This is a great Undertaker, though. I think this is like maybe one of my favorite American Badass Undertakers that they've released.
I think this is the one you get if you're
Yeah.
getting an American Badass figure. Like if that's,
Yeah.
I think that I want to say that the glasses are sculpted or they're connected to the bandana.
Yeah, bandana like a John Morrison from way back when, like Elite
Yeah.
80 something. Yeah, man. Like I that's probably the best off, so you're not like losing one and then losing both.
Mhm.
You can just kind of have it cohesive, maybe just sit on him too. I feel like the silhouette would just be a lot better.
That
Yeah,
it just looks like it fits better.
exactly that. Yeah. The trench coat too. I like that they actually did like a new vest sculpted over it, like a Jack's rubbery vest sort of thing, instead of having like a sculpted vest and then painting it over, which I think they did on another American Badass. But this Pillman, man, oh, great new like formula too for the Pillman. This is like using that Tyler Bate
Yeah.
elite torso, I believe. And all this is to build the Michael Cole, which is fantastic. This is what a funny looking Michael Cole with that goatee, dude. What a time. But yeah, this Pillman, this looks pretty good, man. Compared to what we first saw of it with like the really yellow hair,
Yeah.
I think this turned out pretty decent. What do you think?
I agree. I'm glad that they've got like the two-tone look in the hair going on, that they cleaned that up.
Yeah.
It was amazing how quickly they came out after WrestleMania weekend and was like, no, here's the updated hair. Like,
Dude, so fit, like fast, like a week or two, right?
Yeah.
Not even. Like fantastic. Is that even like new sculpted shoes as well? If you're looking at like it goes into the pants, that's pretty good.
yeah. I don't know. is it reuse of the Scott Hall legs
Oh, you could
that
be
were
right there. Yeah, yeah.
reuse of the Build-A-Figure Bulldog legs?
It could be. Did it have the? Because you can see on his right leg, it has like a little rectangle cut out of like a denim thing. Did it have all that?
Let's see. Hold on. Hold, please.
Oh yeah, there are different boots than that. Okay, is that a complete different sculpt then?
Might be.
Who freaking knows? Whatever it is,
Yeah.
more jeans, more denim,
Anyway, yeah.
more denim in my collection. That's what I need. I wonder how this is gonna scale up with the zombie sailors too.
Yeah, that's the big question. It's like basically competing jeans Pillmans, although slightly different time periods. I mean, this is obviously WWE, and that was ECW.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's different lower legs for sure. Yeah, yeah, cool. So yeah, a lot of new sculpting in this wave in particular, which I love to see, honestly.
Give me a gun, you cowards!
Yeah.
Like where's the gun?
Where's his damn Glock? Okay.
Zombie
next
status.
time we have Steve on,
Yeah.
give us guns with our figure.
Where are the guns, man?
Oh man, Walmart, huh?
And then he just
Walmart, you can just
leaves
find
the
them.
stream.
Yeah. Yeah, just out of here. I mean, he's gonna do that one of these streams, surely. We got a nice shark as well. Not Shark Boy as much as I wish it was. Imagine getting a Shark Boy figure.
Wow. Yeah.
An elite line. I think there's already Shark Boy figures. But what do you think on this? Is this more so your? I'm not sure if I've ever seen, Earthquake. I forget his name.
John Tenta.
John Tenta. I don't think I ever saw him in this iteration.
I mean, I'm vaguely remembering this Dungeon of Doom era of him. It doesn't really. I mean, it looks cool. This is a cool outfit, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
Shark
deep
is a
cut,
meme.
man. Like,
Yeah,
we're getting some
meme
deep
at this
cuts here.
point. Got it. So it's like the Goon a little bit, like at this point, the Yeti. We need to get the Yeti, I think, as well. Cool shark designs though on the attire. I won't say. I won't lie when I say that. And yeah, this is the chase, I believe. So you're not getting too much out of the chase in comparison. But and we're also getting an Eric Bischoff, okay? And he comes with some legs, and he got some legs, okay? I thought that was
Are
just
they
an
the same
accessory,
legs?
like he has swappable. Yeah, I thought they were swappable at some point. But yeah, like I've got an Eric Bischoff. I I don't know if it's just me on this, but I don't really see Eric Bischoff in these head scans, and I know I felt that way with the Ultimate Edition Nitro ring as well.
Oh, so I really liked a couple of those Nitro ring head sculpts. So there were a couple that I thought they really captured him, and
Got you.
I
I like the smile, like the teeth showing. I
Yeah.
like that one.
this one, maybe it's the hair throwing it. I don't know. Do we have another closer look one?
We do. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
It
yeah,
looks
like,
like
I
he's
don't
at a
mind-
disco.
That doing one of those.
Yeah.
I like the Bischoff figure for generic suited people. Yeah, absolutely. They come in handy for that as well. I think where my bread is buttered, man, is that Ruthless Aggression Eric Bischoff head sculpt. I think.
Yeah.
Was it that one? That Elite. I think that looked just like Eric Bischoff to me. I'd be reusing that head sculpt to the moon and back. But yeah, like this is not a bad Eric Bischoff. It's an easy pass for me.
Yeah, new
but
blood.
And then all in all, dude, you get to create Michael frickin' Cole, from like the 90s. This is
Right?
fantastic. This is like so funny, man. I would love to see an updated Michael Cole, like a modern Michael Cole. I'd love to branch out and beef up our commentary team as we can. I only have the AW commentators right now, so I'd love to get some branching out. But this is a great looking figure, especially for the time. This is gonna like excel any backstage area that you have figure setup wise, you know, just like a backstage interviewer, even on the cans, on commentary, if you have a 90s Raw setup, you know. So what do you think of this as a Build-A-Figure, and what do you think of the execution?
I think it's a guy that people have been wanting for a while. We got the first Build-A-Figure, but it's been so long in
Yeah,
between
man.
that there are so many collectors that have come in since that period or just didn't get that figure for whatever reason. And I think that here's an opportunity, although, I mean, you got to start somewhere. So I guess this is
Yeah.
Monday Night War era. Modern one's got to be around the corner.
You'd only hope, right? Yeah, like I wonder if they do that just not even as a Build-A-Figure, if it was a modern one, if because maybe he would just sell, you know,
Yeah.
because it is a sought after talent. I'd say it's pretty he's pretty sought after now, which is funny.
Yeah. This is him at like, I don't know if this is like peak annoying Michael Cole, but it was probably right up there because it was like, bring back Jim Ross, please.
Oh, is this the replacement for Jim Ross?
Yeah.
He was the dude. That would have wow. What shoes to fill, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. I wonder if they put him in an elite line and then have him as a chase with his WrestleMania gear in the orange
Oh
singlet.
man. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I could see him in one of those PLE waves as the Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, true that too. Yep. A comment here as well. I mean, they did a sword with Drew. There we go. Give me my guns, Steve.
Yeah.
Give me my semi-automatics and just with a John Cena. There we go. Instead of a stripper John Cena, now he has a gun. You know.
I mean,
So-
they literally just are selling us a shark too.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. How dangerous. What are my kids meant to think? I don't even have kids. What are they meant to think? Moving on, dude. We did see this Scott Steiner Ultimate as well in full force. This is looking freaking tastic. This is like my era of Papa Pump, man. Big Papa Pump with the trunks. Is that like the straight jacket? Is all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. What do you think of the execution on this bad boy?
I need to take a deeper look at the head sculpts, but I'm so stoked about this one. And I've seen a lot of complaints already that it's not the white singlet NWO version of Big Papa Pump, but no way we're not getting one of those, at least.
I mean, if they watched Figure Friday, they'd know all about that.
Yeah, Steve said no. So
yeah,
but I would like to think that there are more Big Papa Pumps on the way after this.
Yeah. This got to be the first of many, man, especially ultimate wise, right? Fan freaking tastic. Comes with the new sculpted big gold too. So if you missed out on that, you get a good chance to get it here. Dude, I you know what came up? This is just seeing the photo of him with the tank top right there, just in the singlet. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Play the guitar? I don't know how to play the guitar. I can't play the guitar. Throws it. That's I don't know why that made me think of that. Scott Steiner, fantastic. And we're also seeing this Randy Orton Ultimate as well. This is like when I get started like into wrestling, watching it as a kid. This is my Randy Orton. This is my version of the IC title, as weird as that is. But now I much prefer the Ultimate Warrior sort of shape of the IC title now that I think of it, you know. But you know, I love the oval IC title. I don't hate it, I'll say that. But I also don't. I can skip out on this release, honestly. This Randy for me. I just need like Legend Killer. I need like Viper. Oh, this is Legend Killer, I guess. I need Viper Orton. You know.
So I had this conversation with somebody today about this figure, and it's just like we keep dipping into the evolution era of Randy Orton, and it's just like there are so many other eras that I would like to see them pull from that they could. I mean, the funny thing is this figure was previously a fan takeover figure as an elite, and then it's going to be an ultimate, which fine, you know, but like we just got the evolution 3-pack of elites, and
with this
I want to
sculpt, like the confused head sculpt is in that 3-pack. So
yeah,
so it's like why is it here? Yeah.
So let's tap into some of these other eras of these characters, and I'm not sure, why we're not. And I know that this was a fan takeover vote, but it seems like a lot of that is, the same year stuff that they're pulling from, and it's like, no, let's get into, Legend Killer or some of those other, early Randy, well, not early, but like the post evolution, Viper
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
Let's tap into some of these other eras.
Yeah, I agree, because it feels like from the looks of it, we only like get a modern Randy, and then we get this era of Randy, and then that's it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this year of Randy, and then modern Randy, and that's all we get. So I feel like it would be cool if we did get like a Viper, or just completely like Apex Predator sort of, shaved head, no wrist tape even. You know what I mean? Like that era.
Yeah. And I would really like them to take a look at like the selections for these fan takeovers to really like try and balance them out, because trying to figure out the way, like you think about the Ultimate Warrior fan takeover one from a few years ago, and they put in the Hogan match from what WrestleMania was that? Six?
Like 4 or 5?
Four.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it
Yeah.
was 6.
So anytime you put that in a fan poll vote, it's going to win. Like, it's not even really a competition. Like, there's whatever, that's the one that people who don't even collect are going to automatically click that button. They're somehow
Yeah.
going to come across it on social media or something, and they're going to be like, oh, Hogan Warrior, and it's like, no, there's so many other eras. So it's like with this, I would have liked to have seen them pull from some of those like eras that they haven't really tapped into very much recently, with some of these like modern upgrade figures. I think that would be cool. So
Yeah. Because like, I hear voices crying. I hear sound. Anyway. But yeah, like this is another photo of the Randall. But I'd say, man, thus concludes the news, the figure reveals that we've seen today as well, and also our chat with Kanik. So, man, this was like a jam-packed episode of Figure Done Friday. Are you guys okay out there? Are you guys still breathing? Are you guys still with us? Because that was a lot we threw at you, okay? You better still be breathing, because this is damn Figure Friday. If you like the video, make sure you like it and give it a thumbs up. Comment afterwards. Subscribe if you haven't already. Justin, please, what do you think of this episode? And tell the people where they can find you.
I thought it was a great time. It's always great to hang out with you and run head-to-head with SmackDown. So, yeah, you can find me at WrestlingFigureNews.com and WrestleFigNewsPod on Instagram.
Hell yeah. Yes, we can all take our shirts off and dance. Yes, we all can. But yeah, this is the ratings war, the real ratings war with SmackDown, and we're beating them, obviously, okay?
Sorry about your
SmackDown too.
ratings.
Sorry about your ratings, kid, okay? Maybe you'll make it someday. You'll make me telling SmackDown they'll make it someday. Anyway, you can find me everywhere you gosh darn can, at NickStormReview, on all socials, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not even calling it X. It's going to be Twitter forever for me. And everywhere you gosh darn can. And you can find us here every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, unless said otherwise, on the socials that we mentioned earlier. So, without further ado, let's enjoy some freaking SmackDown. And thank you all for damn watching, because we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, I didn't even haven't got the outro ready. Oh my god, I'm such an amateur. Guys, help me.
Use code ICON.
Did you enjoy this stream? Well, good, because after this stream ends, make sure to go onto my channel and binge watch every single one of my videos, because they're guaranteed a good chuckle or two. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye!
Nick Storm, the Australian icon.